Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arif Hakimi bin Noormin and my metric number is 273735. Today, we want to discuss about the topic, the issues of the Shariah and business ethics in Takaful industry. So basically, Takaful is a business model for protection and risk management whereby a group of people comes together and creates a pool of funds for the purpose of protecting themselves from unforeseen events that may cause loss such as natural disaster or accidents. Such cooperation requires the donation of money by all the Takaful participants based on the Tabaru principle. In accordance with the terms and conditions negotiated between them, a separate fund will be formed as the source of monetary assistance to any participant. The Takaful industry has rapidly grown into a viable industry that is incorporated into the mainstream of the national insurance system, in line with the principle of mutual assistance, which is ta'awun, and the Muslim need to provide a Sharia compliant alternative to traditional insurance. The integration of the Shariah compliance process in the Takaful industry will give more soundness and credibility to the Takaful operators and create confidence into the public. Shariah compliance in Takaful provide guidance on the compliance with rules and principles. The ultimate purpose is to ensure that Shariah compliance in the operation of Takaful is in place. The Takaful operator should review the fund, the process, and the right of the participants is in compliance with Shariah. This is an important mechanism and necessary step that give assurance that the business is carried out with Shariah rule and principle. Business ethics in Takaful is very important to ensure that company are conducted in the socially responsible manner. Ethics is a very crucial aspect when it comes to marketing and promotion because the client will make his or her decision to subscribe the Takaful based on the information provided and the way that the services has been presented. Therefore, a set ethics should be part of the marketing in order to govern the conducts and behavior of the Takaful operators who offer Takaful product and services. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Lakhman Alifia Nur. My metric number is 261205 and we will proceed now with the Shariah issues in Takaful industry. Takaful are known as Islamic insurance which implemented the Shariah made for Muslims that makes it allowed to use for every Muslims. In Takaful business, the elements of Shariah implemented because conventional insurance contain things that are prohibited in Shariah. Not only the prohibition caused by the element consists in conventional insurance, some Takaful models and concept implementation need to be questioned whether it is allowed or prohibited in Shariah. Now we will proceed to the first issues in Takaful industry. First, prohibited element in insurance, which again the Shariah. The three prohibition elements, such as garar, maisir, and riba, against the Shariah because garar, or known as uncertainty, is prohibited due to the ambiguity involved whether there will be a loss or not with the sales of something is not yet present. So there is no clarity when the policyholder will use their insurance or maybe they don't use it at all. Second is maisir. Maisir, or known as gambling, it is again the Shariah because it's considered as gambling or game of chance, where the result is win or loss, and the garar element also contained in maisir, not certain, and there is not good cooperation between the parties who involved in maisir. Some will beneficiary and some or another will be faced a loss. Riba or interest itself is generally this is the third element. Riba or interest itself is related to the notion of growth, growing or dropping, which in turns forbid interest on loans or deposit from being credited. Under Shariah law, riba is prohibited. It is supposed to guarantee the equity in return, mean to guarantee that individuals can protect their money by making unjust and equal trades illegal. Takaful eliminates this prohibition element by works with term and basic principle of tabaru or donation by mutual guarantee in return for members or parties jointly for their losses from the specified risk. Second issue is nomination and hibah in family takaful. Family takaful, or known as life insurance, provide long-term financial protection under the principle of Shariah. The protection provided is when the death of someone occurs in the future. At the same time, the participant will be saving their personal fund for long-term investment, so there will be two accounts in family takaful. The issue is nomination itself is a person appointed by the participant of the family takaful who will be receiving the fund for the participant family takaful if the death occurs. For instance, a father named his son as his nomination in takaful. The issues of hibah in family takaful is may be given during as individual lifetime according to the Shariah principle of hibah, but in the takaful family, if the policyholder dies before maturity, the takaful advantages are granted as a gift. It is also opposite to the purpose of the hibah itself. Hibah cannot give after death because any form of gift or hibah after death considered as a tactic to avoid the Islamic law of inheritance for Arif to as hibah. Also, the destruction of the fund after death not considered as hibah, but considered as wasiyah. Next issue is takaful model. The model of takaful varies with the different concept and method of operation. Usually, the model based on the agent principle or the management investment of fund. The difference between this model, mudarabah and wakalah, is mudarabah, a principle of profit loss sharing that is still usually applied to a business or trade arrangement between the party supplying the fund or capital and the party managing the business. Hence, for the wakalah itself, it's agency arrangement structure between operations serving as the agent or the participant wakil as the principal control the participant account. The issues regarding the implementation of mudarabah model, it is because mudarabah is based on commercial contract concurrently with the existence and application of tabaru donation. Hence, there is an issue, Qard al-Hasan in the mudarabah and wakalah concept. The concept of Shariah in these both models regarding Qard Hasan is when a wakil gives Qard Hasan from the participant fund and happens to have a deficit. Wakil is not responsible for that because a wakil is not a guarantor. The original principle states that the leader is not expecting the fund will be returned. Hence, the borrower cannot be forced to pay the debt if the borrower cannot afford to pay the loan. The lender must accept this as tabaru because the term of Qard al-Hasan is based on ikhlas and not hoping the return of the fund. Okay, now we will proceed to the business ethic issues in takaful.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rasyid Farin Damansyara with metric number 260523. Today I would like to present about business ethics in takaful industry. Ethics is the essential part in our social life. Ethics will determine good attitude and the characteristic of a person. Hence, in business, ethics is an important role in takaful industry. It is because it will reflect our attitude while working with others. Ethics also consider as honesty, discipline, and the others. Moreover, takaful industry will refer the definition of good ethics according to Shariah. Thus, next section will elaborate more about the definition, concept, and issues regarding the business ethics in takaful industry. Definition and concept. Definition: business ethics is therefore a set of moral rules that govern how a company operates, how business decisions are made, how people are treated in the workplace, and also examines ethical principles and issues that arise in the business environment. Concept. The concept of business ethics in takaful based on Islam perspective is that, based on the Quran and Sunnah, every entrepreneur must always practice Islam and always be reasonable, fair, honest, trustworthy, and sincere in every business establishment conducted by maintaining ethical values among entrepreneurs. The concept of business ethics outlined in Islam is essentially that there is no fraud, laundering, and the others that ultimately leads to the collapse of the Islamic economy and threatens society welfare. Next, the importance of good business ethics in takaful business. The reason why business ethics in takaful industry very important, it is because it provides entrepreneurs with teaching on good or bad ethics, right or wrong, moral teaching on conduct and action, particularly in economies beyond Muslim belief, and it is because it aims to maintain business discipline and society justice, especially to maintain trust and to maintain obedience to Allah. Ethics is also an important element in helping to grow small and medium-sized business. Ethical principle according to Ahmed 2015. Ethical principle play to goodness, honesty, truth, fairness, equilibrium, and justice and knowledge. Qiyas al-Isra 34. Issues of business ethics in Takaful. The issue rising of business ethics, especially in Takaful industry, commonly because the high risk of individual working ethics. Usually it will involve dishonesty that lead to losses to the Takaful participant. Hence, there are several issues regarding the business ethics in Takaful, such as employee theft, dishonesty, and Takaful Operator issue. Thus, next session will elaborate more regarding the business ethics in Takaful industry. The first issues is employee theft and dishonesty in Takaful industry. Honesty ethics is in business is very necessary. It is because to avoid any lack of confidence that will trigger concern from a strategic perspective. Insurance fraud. Insurance fraud or Takaful fraud is one of the problem of corporate ethics in the Takaful industry. It is because deliberate fraud or dishonesty committed to achieve financial benefit by an insurance provider or Takaful operator or workers against customer, or it can be also called the financial gain or the employee theft. Financial benefit employee theft is commonly defined as employees' unauthorized use, theft, or misuse of business properties. According to Association of Certified Fraud Examiner report for the county, estimates of global employee theft and fraud reach the level of trillions of dollars. Another reality is about 1/3 of all company failures are triggered by employee fraud, which takes an average of 2 years to detect. Example of employee dishonesty. First, taking of a portion of the insurance claim money that should be given to the customer. Second, makes a false claim against the Takaful industry about the tragedy that happened to the customer in order to get money from the claim of the customer. Next is fraud intelligence system. Due to many cases of employee theft and dishonesty in Takaful industry, the Malaysian insurance sector established fraud intelligence system, FIS, ESM, and BAE system developed as which function to identify fraudulent claims for insurance and tech company through advance in technology and data science. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Anisah binti Azhar. My metric number is 264833. Next, issues is Takaful Operator. Takaful Operator are part of Islamic financial institution that derive their basic values from Islamic law. First, Takaful Operator issue is the Takaful Operator face many risks such as credit risk, liquidity risk, legal and fiduciary risk, financial regulation, disclosure risk, and oversight risk. Takaful Operator should not run away from risk management irrespective of risk sharing or risk transfer. Takaful operators also will face difficulties if the risks are not handled in a wise manner, and ultimately the public will lose faith in the Takaful market. Next, risk operator issue is they are not efficient in Malaysia compared to CGG countries. Consequently, the size of the board, the size of the business, and the specialization of the product have a positive effect on the core efficiency of the Takaful operator. The law of the corporate governance alone do not motivate or force companies to improve the effectiveness of the Takaful operator. Next issue is agent behavior against consumer. The unpleasant behavior of the Takaful agent will undermine the trust and wants of the consumer of the Takaful chosen. The behavior of agents also have not learned and recognized the desire of customer, and the behavior of the agent on other immoral problems has the same level as 4 times of the frequency. Also, it conducts that damages the credibility of the business, non-consumer friendly programs helping customer devise the company, defaming other agents to consumers, and inefficiency in coping with clients' issues. Also, the lack of communication skills will lead the agent to a low degree of trust in the supply of customer knowledge on Takaful goods and services. In conclusion, the implementation of Shariah is compulsory for us as a Muslim, and the Shariah compliance must be added in every segment of our daily activities to avoid forbidden things. The business ethic also have the big role in running the Takaful business according to Shariah. The penetration rate for Takaful remain low, indicating that there are significant opportunities for future growth. Better and more effective channel of delivering such goods to the retail sector are necessary, and in this age of advanced information technology, all these must be achieved. That's all from me. Thank you.